Hey everybody, hope you can see me. I know I'm dark. Anyway, today I made a comment and I decided to make a video because I was just so frustrated about the news today that our wonderful president has decided to be for gay marriage. And I thought it was a little odd, the timing of it being that the election is in 6 months. And I'm pretty sure he wasn't for it when he got elected the first time because it wouldn't be such big news. But yeah, so anyway, I posted a comment about it. Reason being that I just didn't like that he would do that now. I felt it was disingenuous. As I got comments coming in, I realized that we had already decided that this would be a state-by-state issue, which I actually agreed with at the time, and I still kind of do. So, a lot of my friends were making comments, and I just wanted to kind of respond to let you guys know where I'm coming from. First of all, I am very conservative. I have been since probably before I hit puberty, to be honest with you. And I also am Mormon, Latter-day Saint, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We believe in Jesus. Anywho, so that's where that part is. Now, there's a lot of misconceptions about my religion or Christians or whatnot. So I just want to clear the air at least and give you what is my opinion and my opinion only. Don't take it as, well, this is what all Mormons think or what all. This is just things that I've learned since I've been in the church and how I feel about people in general, to be honest with you. Growing up, I grew up Christian. I went to a lot of different sects of Christianity, and growing up, I was taught that gays were going to hell. Period. If you were gay, you had a one-way ticket to the hot, fiery downstairs. As a Latter-day Saint for the last 15 years, I've learned the moniker, which is in the Bible, which we do believe, that you hate the sin, but you love the sinner. I've met a lot of different people in my life who have done some pretty heinous things and have, for lack of a better word, repented of it. And they're good people. They just got caught in a bad situation or made a bad choice in their life. That's it. Simple as that. We all do. Just sometimes circumstances are different than others. I've had a lot of friends in my life come and go. And through Facebook, I've reconnected with a lot of people. And a lot of people I went to high school with. And they've come out of the closet after high school. A few years back, I had two friends that are getting married that I was actually in choir with together, and they both got married. One was a girl, one was a guy. They were both homosexual, not in high school. So I was rather surprised to find out that they were having same-sex marriages, and I was really excited for them because they were my friends and I love them dearly. And they were making a choice, and they were very happy. And nothing makes me happier than seeing my friends happy. So I was definitely rooting for them. Regardless of my religious beliefs, I'm a firm believer that everybody was created by one God, and that He loves each and every one of us, regardless of what we do, even if we believe in Him or not. And I feel the same way about everybody, especially people that I know personally, that I have a great love and affection for them. And so I wanted my friends to be happy. And as time has gone on, I've kind of kept contact here and there. I actually found out one of them got divorced. So, from the two same-sex marriages that I've known of in my life, in my circle of existence, It's already 50%, same percentage as the rest of the heterosexual marriages. So I don't think that gay marriage is going to necessarily lower the divorce rate. I think divorces are going to happen. I don't care who you are, unfortunately, because there is that option. And a lot of people, instead of facing their problems, run. Period. I don't care who you are. Another thing that was bothering me is this country. Um, Reason being, I went to DC and out east a few weeks ago with my family. Not a big history buff, but I do like to learn some things, and I did learn quite a bit about this country. This country was founded on two main principles. The first being equal rights, the second being freedom of religion. No one would even be on this continent if they weren't escaping religious persecution. That's just a fact, whether you like it or not. And I think it's funny that this country fought for freedom and gained its independence, and for over 100 years after gaining that independence, still had slaves. And after its independence, the first group that this country declared war on was a religious group. It was the Mormons that they declared war against because they were growing too big. So, there's a little history bit for you. A couple things I learned that really disappointed me about this country was our founding fathers, especially George Washington, who I gained admiration for, but still regret choices that weren't made or things that weren't done earlier or sooner. When, as general of the army, he had a lot of influence on a poll, and he felt that slavery was wrong as he was fighting for his own freedom. And so he decided he wouldn't buy any more slaves, and he wouldn't separate those families of his slaves, which I thought was a very admirable thing to do. I guess the circumstances were they weren't actually his slaves, or his wife's, who was a widow or something, and so he couldn't just set them free. Law was real tedious, and he was a man that followed the rules, and I can admire that, and I appreciate that. What I can't understand is if he felt so strongly against slavery, why didn't he end it right then and there? If anybody could have, George Washington could have. I don't know if he tried and got shot down or never tried at all. So that was something that kind of bothered me. Another thing that bothered me is while we were in D.C., we went to look at some of these great documents of our past Declaration of Independence, the Constitution. And in one of the rooms in the building that these articles are housed, the Emancipation Proclamation. Now, for all my friends that think that's when slavery ended, slavery didn't end in this country till the early 1900s, whether you want to admit it or not. That is a fact. My grandmother was born in 1898. She was born into slavery. There is no doubt. Now, the Emancipation was even, I think, either during or just after the secession of the states, prior to the war, during. I'm not exactly sure on the date, but I know it wasn't after. Abraham Lincoln wrote it to free all the slaves, which was a nice document, a nice thing to do, but actually what it did was it said it freed all the slaves of the seceded states, but still kept slavery legal within the Union. So everyone that stayed in the Union and any states that were captured by the Union could still practice slavery. So, not quite sure how that worked out. But that makes a lot of sense considering it was a political move. Not a real big fan of Abraham Lincoln, unfortunately. I learned many years ago that the end plan for the freed slaves was to send them all back to Africa, which makes sense when you think about it, because generally when you free slaves, you send them back from whence they came so they can truly be free. But after a century, I don't think they have a home anymore. Does that make sense? And that was just dumb and kind of a slap in the face. I wasn't happy with this whole Obama thing anyway. I got a lot of crap for not voting for him because I'm black and I should have voted for him based solely on the color of my skin matching his. I got a lot of crap for not voting for him, and I had my reasons. I won't go into not voting for him, but that's where life kind of differs. I don't think any of my white friends get crap for voting for him, saying, "Why'd you vote for the guy that looked like you?" I don't think that exists really in that subculture of races, and I don't know. I felt this country was ready for a black president a decade ago. I would have rather have seen a female president, to be perfectly honest with you. I think we're more than adequate ready for that, and I think there's a few women that would definitely run this country a lot better than the men have. Again, these are my opinions. I promised that this would be racist, and here goes. To go back to the gay marriage point that started all of this, it got me thinking. I said, and I told my wife this earlier, I said, rapists, murderers, child molesters get to get married. Why can't gays? I just kind of see it as a human rights thing, and we're all human beings, and I think we should all have the same rights and privileges, regardless of race, regardless of religion, and regardless of sexual orientation. I've been through so much because of my skin color, something I can't really change or choose to be, and I can't. My religion is something that I did choose, and I accept anything that comes along with that choice. But I want everyone that watches this video to know I am not a slave, pardon the pun, to my religion. I follow it, and I love it solely by my own choice. No one talked me into it. My friends didn't convince me or whatnot. It is what I choose, and my friends, whether they be gay or straight, are my friends because I love them and they love me. I sound like Barney, but that is fact. I've lived 3 decades and I've seen a lot of stuff. I think it's just to the point that I'm just so sick of being sick of this country. And with that being said, I wouldn't go anywhere else. This is the greatest land on God's green earth, bar none. And whatever's going to happen with all of these political stuff is going to happen. I know who I'm going to vote for. And I'm happy and confident with that decision. And I'm glad that we all get to have that vote and get to have that voice. And I just want my friends to know, whoever they are, wherever they are, that I love you and that you're awesome. And if you're on Facebook and you got to this and you're my friend, I want you to understand something very clear. You're not my friend on Facebook so I can get a number of friends. You're my friend because I truly and honestly respect you and care about you and want to know what's going on in your life, and I want you to share the experiences that I have in my life. That's about it. Good night.